Have you ever lied awake at night, staring at the ceiling, wondering why the simple act of existing feels so exhausting? It's not just the physical fatigue, it's the mental noise. You try to soothe yourself, maybe with a supplement or a distraction, but the thoughts just keep looping. You feel trapped in your own skin, locked in a cycle of overthinking, and worst of all, you realize you are stuck in a toxic relationship with the only person you can never leave, yourself. This is the reality for the serial people pleaser. You live to accommodate everyone else because you have convinced yourself that being liked is a survival instinct. It sounds dramatic, but if you trace it back, it makes sense. As children, our survival depended on the approval of those around us. If we didn't fit in, if we didn't win approval, we risked being left behind, ignored, or emotionally abandoned. We learned that saying no was dangerous. We learned that keeping the peace was synonymous with staying safe. Over time, this childhood survival strategy calcifies into an adult personality trait. You become the person who always says, sure, that's fine, no worries, or I'm okay with whatever you choose. You believe this makes you kind. You believe it makes you flexible. But there is a cruel irony in people-pleasing. Nobody actually respects a person with no spine. By trying to be liked by everyone, you end up being defined by no one. You are so busy being a mirror for everyone else's desires that your own personality fades into the background. You are not a person anymore. You are just background noise in other people's lives. Consider the people-pleaser paradox. When two people-pleasers meet, the interaction becomes a stagnant loop of indecision. What do you want to eat? Whatever you want. No, really. I'm fine with anything you choose. But I only want what you want. It is a conversation devoid of substance, fueled by a mutual fear of causing inconvenience. It is exhausting, circular, and ultimately, deeply dishonest. You aren't being nice. You are being passive. You are avoiding the responsibility of having a preference, a boundary, or a distinct point of view. It is tempting to submit and give your life away to the whims of others. It is the path of least resistance. When someone else tells you how to eat, how to love, how to spend your time, or how to think, you don't have to make any hard decisions. You can just put on your seatbelt and watch your life go by from the passenger seat. You give up the driver's seat of your own existence just to maintain a fragile, artificial sense of harmony. But what are you left with at the end of the day? Just a life that isn't yours. A life lived by someone else's script. The tragic punchline is that you are people-pleasing to survive, only to realize you are surviving into a life that has no meaning. You are betraying your own potential for the sake of people you may not even genuinely like. The time comes when you have to face the music. You have to realize that you cannot be the hero to everyone. In fact, if you try to be the hero to everyone, you end up being a hero to no one, least of all yourself. You have to stop looking for external validation as a proxy for love. You have to realize that people-pleasing is often just a desperate attempt to be liked because you struggle to love yourself. You think that if everyone else approves of you, you won't have to face the uncomfortable task of approving of yourself. You have to break up with your own passivity. This is the hardest breakup you will ever go through because you are breaking up with the version of yourself that kept you safe by making you invisible. It requires you to start taking steps forward, to stop being a background character, and to start claiming your own space. It requires you to accept that you might be the villain in someone else's story because you finally dared to set a boundary. And that is okay. You belong to yourself. You are not defined by what others say you are, nor by what you think they want you to be. You are defined by your choices, by the difficult no's you say, and by the conviction you show when you stand for your own values. So, tonight, when you find yourself lying awake, instead of trying to silence your mind or find the next quick fix, try something different. Stop trying to negotiate with yourself. Stop trying to please the imaginary crowd in your head. Acknowledge that you are currently caught in a cycle of people-pleasing, and decide, right then and there, that you are ready to reclaim your autonomy. The joke of life isn't that we are trapped. It's that we had the key to the cage the entire time, but we were too afraid of being disliked to use it. Sleep well tonight, not because you found the perfect answer, but because you finally decided to be your own person. You owe it to yourself to be more than just a punchline in someone else's joke. It is time to start living your own life on your own terms. Have a nice day.